Fine. One tiramisu.
नहीं यार, मेरे इंटरनेट डोंगल का बिल देख, 1000 रुपीज एक्स्ट्रा.
रिजोर्टो.
और ये देख, सिर्फ 300 MB एक्स्ट्रा यूसेज.
मेरे नेटवर्क पे होते तो एडजस्ट करके लोएस्ट पॉसिबल बिल आता. कम यूज करो या ज्यादा. सामन
कैंसल. अरे बट
तुम पहले अपना बिल छोटा करो, दिल बाद में बड़ा कर लेना.
Reliance Net Connect का My Best Plan. It's simply better.
Reliance. Coming up, Pioneering Spirit, a product of Lufthansa, where business pathfinder Shivinder MohanSingh selects tomorrow's business pioneer. Only on ET Now. This is Pioneering Spirit, a product of Lufthansa. With a panoramic view of the Frankfurt Airport in the Lufthansa First Class Terminal Lounge, please welcome ET Now Shaili Chopra.
Hello and welcome to the third season of Pioneering Spirit, a product of Lufthansa. What an exciting journey it's been through the last 3 years. The brightest young business minds in the country have met the doyens of India Inc. Pioneers of today have inspired the pioneers of tomorrow to dream big and scale greater heights. This third season of Pioneering Spirit will bring you inspirational stories from India Inc. of men and women who have dared to take the leap of faith and think beyond the obvious. It is our tribute to their grit and gumption, the undying spirit of entrepreneurship. Today, in the first episode of this season at the Lufthansa First Class Lounge, we will celebrate the achievement of somebody who's a pioneer in the private healthcare sector in India. Starting from a single facility in Mohali, his company is now the largest private healthcare provider in the country. With a clear focus on maintaining quality price points, he aims to take affordable healthcare into the heart of India, creating, in his own words, a McDonald's of healthcare. His passion for this sector has now led him to focus on deeper issues like medical education, mother and child care, and much more. Please welcome a true entrepreneur and healthcare visionary, Shivinder MohanSingh, Executive Vice Chairman at Fortis Healthcare. Welcome, Shivinder. Thanks so much for joining us. So, first family of healthcare in the country. It's probably a lot of weight to carry around on your shoulder.
Well, I think we are normally seen as a pharmaceutical family if you look at the past generations. So I think the healthcare expectations were not that high when we started. Of course, I think things have changed now.
But was this whole healthcare idea budding largely because at one point you were the Ranbaxy Group, a pharma company?
Well, I think certainly the idea of getting into health delivery had its roots in the fact that we were in the pharmaceutical space. And when Dr. Singh decided to get out and beyond of pharmaceuticals, he looked at verticals that were kind of akin and where he understood. So therefore diagnostics, healthcare, insurance were the ones that came out. So yeah, it was an idea that came around the fact that we were in the healthcare space.
In many ways, you think you yourself had to turn into an entrepreneur to take that risk, to go into a space which till about a decade ago was still trying to find a way to grow. Healthcare was not something India paid enough attention to.
Well, I think that's pretty much the case today as well. I think there's a lot more noise today with a lot of private healthcare activity. But healthcare is largely an ignored sector from an individual and a country standpoint. I don't think one took it like taking a risk or getting out of the open and stuff. As you have to keep in mind that we were in our early 20s when we got into the space, straight out of college and so on and so forth. I think our dad was very clear. In fact, he sat both of us down at some point when we were in college and said, the family seat is not yours for taking. You have to earn your stripes. You can go and work somewhere else. You can start up your own venture, which I'll give you a very limited seed capital for. Or you can join the family business, but you have to start from, and both Malvind and I started as management trainees.
Yes.
I think,
back in the mid-90s for you at least.
Right. It wasn't expected to be given to you on a silver platter at all.
What do you think was the one big idea that struck you as you tried to venture in this space?
That's a difficult question. Hopefully a lot of things have struck over the last decade and a half. But I think our experience for both Malvind and myself, being attendants to our dad when he went through his last couple of years with his disease, probably gave us a far greater insight that you'd ever have as a child growing up without any disease around you as a family. I think those 2-3 years with actually going to multiple centers around the world and seeing how patients are treated, how the attendant is cared for, and what the whole environment and the anxiety of a patient is, probably helped us to at least look at it from a patient's perspective better than we would have had we not gone through something like that.
And so world-class healthcare became the big motto that Fortis eventually wanted to start executing on. But you led a very, very active and aggressive acquisition strategy, something that's been inherent between you and Malvinder Singh together as brothers and, you know, entrepreneurs, so to speak. Why is it that that whole M&A chase works for you?
I guess it's in our DNA. Well, I think in the healthcare space, it was very clear that we needed size. We needed scale to be able to get the economics in, because we didn't want to go down the pricing route. I think historically, when we looked at the research of the previous decade before we got into the business in all of the 90s, healthcare inflation was running between 8 and 9%.
Yeah.
We didn't believe that that was the way to go, because in India, healthcare was not affordable to begin with. And then to increase it by 8-10% a year was not really the right way to do it. So you needed economies of scale. You needed size to get in talent and to train talent, because we are short of talent in this country. So all of it revolved around scale. So we had not really much choice but to go down that route.
But you've been sort of looking at a very aggressive expansion strategy as well. I mean, what is your vision and philosophy as you approach the next stage for Fortis Healthcare?
Well, I think the way we are today, where we have really come to a certain point of leadership in the country, we believe that India has achieved a certain kind of success mantra that rest of Asia or rest of parts of the world can actually learn from. And therefore we believe that there is a USP that India can take internationally.
Which is one that balances urban and rural healthcare?
No, which is actually delivering high quality healthcare, the kind of price points that we do, and therefore efficiencies, processes, and a lot of IT that the world is grappling with in the healthcare space. And I think India has managed to figure some parts of that out. It's still a journey, but I think we are ahead of the curve. And if we're able to deliver quality at the right price point, then everything else is really frill. And frill is important, but the content must be at the right price, and certainly safety is a very, very significant measure in our business.
Okay, that's a lesson learned. I'm sure there's plenty more that our upcoming entrepreneurs are going to learn from Shivinder MohanSingh here on Pioneering Spirit. I'm going to take Shivinder and move on to the other side of the lounge, where we will meet 3 young entrepreneurs who will share their business ideas with him and seek his guidance on taking their businesses forward. We'll be back after a very quick break. You're watching Pioneering Spirit, a product of Lufthansa. Come.
Hi, I'm Dr. Anand Lakshman, founder of Address Health. Address Health is trying to make the child health care continuum possible.
Hi, I am Raghu from Chennai, owner of a company Solkar. We are into solar energy, and we will soon empower your homes with the energy.
Hi, I'm Krishnan Sakotai, co-founder of Healthy Mother Hyderabad. Our mission is to create positive, sustainable change in birth practices in India.
This is Pioneering Spirit, a product of Lufthansa.
Find old mails instantly on Gmail. Be Blue, it's simply better. Reliance.
आपकी मेहनत में साथ देती हैं हमारी ये मजबूत गाड़ियाँ, और आपके हर कदम पर साथ चलता है हमारा बरसों का तजुर्बा। अशोक लेलैंड, आपकी जीत हमारी जीत।
मर्सराइज्ड कॉटन से बना कोठारी वेस्ट, कूल एंड कंफर्टेबल। पसीना गॉन, हसीना ऑन। कोठारी वेस्ट, ब्रीफ्स एंड सॉक्स।
Samsung Galaxy S3, designed for humans.
This is Pioneering Spirit, a product of Lufthansa.
Welcome back to Pioneering Spirit, a product of Lufthansa. We have with us the Executive Vice Chairman of Fortis Healthcare, Shivinder MohanSingh, at the Lufthansa First Class Terminal, the only airline in the world to have one. Joining us now are three young entrepreneurs who will make a short pitch on their businesses and ideas to Shivinder and try and win his confidence. Each entrepreneur is going to get 2 minutes to make their pitch, followed by a short interaction with him to get a perspective as to what these entrepreneurs are going to do with their businesses in the future. The winner is going to get a Lufthansa business class return ticket to his dream destination in Europe and a mentorship by Thai. Our winner, though, could grab a spot on the Pioneering Spirit leaderboard. We'll eventually rank all winners from the episodes, and on the basis of their scores, the top 3 will get into the grand finale. Let's get our first entrepreneur on the show, Anand Lakshman, Director of Address Health. Welcome. Tell us a bit about Address Health.
We are setting up a chain of one-stop shop clinics for child health. But these are not only pediatric clinics. They integrate vision, dentistry, pediatric medical care, nutrition, psychology, and other services such that for parents it's become a one-stop shop solution.
How does it become viable only with kids though? Because for dental and eye, your business is probably much larger as well as a catchment area.
If you look at the prevalence rates of these conditions in children, they are very high. If you look at dentistry, for example, 55 to 60% of children need dental. But the market has not been tapped simply because it's something that is not seen as essential by parents today. By combining it with pediatrics, by putting it there in the forefront, we hope to be able to reach out to a large number of children who are not being serviced. Right now, we are based only in the south of Bangalore. For very strategic reasons, we've chosen to work only in one geography. Because apart from our clinics, we also run school health programs. So they act as our brand building strategy as well as a health strategy. So the way in which the business model works is that there are 2 types of clinics that we plan to set up. One is company-owned clinics, and the second are what we call shop-in-shop clinics. So the company-owned clinics will be younger pediatricians in newer localities where migratory population is starting to live. So there is fee-for-service for all these services. There is sales from pharmacy, from spectacles and other things. And there is subscription, annual subscription from school health, annual subscription from the chronic disease management programs, and over time, annual subscription from wellness.
Okay. Thanks very much. We'll catch up with you later in the show. Onwards to our next contestant, Krishnan Sakotai, who is the co-founder of Healthy Mother Wellness and Care. Welcome. So your company's name tells us your target market, the mothers.
Yes. Our mission is to effect positive sustainable change in birth practices in India. So what we do is we operate a maternity services center, a natural birth center based on the midwifery model of care. World over in countries which have far better outcomes in maternal and fetal health are using midwifery model of care for a large segment of their population, with obstetricians providing backup support in cases of emergency. And so to that extent we have trained midwives who take care of mothers, who provide holistic services right from pregnancy, childbirth, postpartum, breastfeeding support, newborn baby care. So a midwife is basically a qualified health professional.
So does she do the delivery as well, or you get the OB to do the delivery?
No, we do even the deliveries ourselves, and that is the reason, because of the holistic midwifery services, our normal delivery rates are in excess of 85%, probably the highest in the country.
Is it that you're the only one offering such a service, or are there a large number of other players into the same business?
We are the only organization in the country offering this service.
So where all are you doing these in terms of locations, and how many do you have right now?
Yeah, currently the only birth center we have is in Hyderabad. But what we are also doing is...
How long has it been functioning?
It's been functioning since 2009.
How many births so far?
We have had about 148 births.
We've got a good sense of your company, and we'll catch you in a bit on the show. Let's get the next entrepreneur on the show, K. Raghunathan, who is the MD of Solkar Solar Industry. Welcome to the show.
This is my We are into manufacturing of the whole range of solar energy products, which are targeted for a common man. When I say a common man, a man who doesn't have an electricity today, a man who lives with still kerosene,
You
and
mean
wooden
solar
stuff.
lanterns and stuff?
It can be solar lanterns, it can be solar cookers, it can be solar heaters, it can be off-grid systems.
So you don't offer just solar, you offer solar products?
We offer solar solutions, I would say.
Okay.
We launched, for example, a solar inverter in the 2 months back. Normal inverters work with EB to charging the battery. And if everybody starts using the EB charging when it is available, the power cut will become larger. So we launched a solar inverter which was otherwise costing 1 lakh,